actually talking about um, auditing your solution, like your solution design of, are we still using this variable? Are we putting a lot of effort into maintaining this variable that no one has reported on for months? Um, or, just looking through and seeing, oh, hey, that variable hasn't been getting data for a really long time. So I think folks that can do that quarterly and just kind of go through their reports, and it's a manual process. There's the Adobe Health Dashboard, which helps if you can get it to work on your machine. But I've ended up just manually going through report by report and have an extra column in my solution design variable map spreadsheets that says, this is the last time that we validated the health of this and that it's still in use. And if no one has used it or cared about it in a long time, we might not even necessarily retire it, but I am going to push to not put effort into maintaining it, because a lot of the time we see that a report isn't working and we throw resources at it, and then afterwards we're like, oh yeah, no one's going to use that report, or no one was using it. It's just we don't like having a broken thing, so we end up focusing on fixing a lot of smaller broken things rather than looking at the important things that we should be paying attention to.
It's a really good point. It's a good segue into one of the things that I've been thinking about a lot from a data perspective, in that I think there are two worlds that have to be addressed, and both of them have a implication on the underlying implementation. One, unfortunately, I think heavier than the other. So one is the real world, and the real world is, what are the few things that we need to truly understand, to understand our customers, to understand the health of our digital property. These things all usually don't get all the attention, but they're the things that make using analytics drive a business. And if you think about the companies that you've worked with over a decade plus of working with different brands, what percentage of them would you say was really using the bulk of the data they're collecting, versus so much data, implementations that are so broken that they aren't even really using it? And
That's
so
such a sad, sad question.
it is, but
I hate thinking about the answer. It's so demoralizing.
it is demoralizing, and I think a big part of it is driven by world number two, which is the illusion of what you are doing. And we can't write it off, because it's clear that so many executives and even those working in analytics are being asked to address, either by themselves or someone else, the illusion of what we're doing. And that is that we always have to be in a state of doing something bigger and better than what, quote, we're currently doing. We definitely have to be doing something that everyone else is talking about. And that's why you get into these conversations about, well, yeah, we're looking about wiring our CDP into a lake house on the lake shore with the ocean mart. And we're going to get that done this year. I'm like, what does that even mean? Like, you guys can't even tell me how many people came to your site last week. Well, what are you talking about? But they have to keep up the illusion that the data analytics portion of their business is getting more and more mature. And I think that that's the unfortunate part, is because of that need for always doing more overrides the need to do less but better. And so
Mhm.
we instrument more, we integrate more, and it all sounds really great. And it's like, yes, if all this can work, it really would be amazing. And then it doesn't, and then it degrades the implementation. You have all this data that isn't usable, and then you go and you say, okay, we want to ask just the very basic of questions, and people kind of shrug their shoulders like, yeah, we can't do that.
When I take that a step further, you say in your example, you guys can't even tell me how many visits you had last month. To me, it's maybe you do know how many visits you have that last month, but you're currently not using that knowledge in any great way. So yeah, I mean, maybe you could properly set up your bigger data management platforms and fancy integrations and all of that, and even get them working, for a time, because everything takes maintenance. But if you're currently not getting enough value out of the implementation you have, often the answer isn't throw more resources at more tools. It's figure out what's broken in your processes that's makes it so you're not getting value out of the tools you have. Because if you're not getting value out of your current analytics, you're probably not going to get value out of something bigger and complicated that takes a lot more effort to maintain.